Hello everyone and welcome back to another Essential Album video. We're now on week 26 and this week we're taking a look at Metallica, better known as the Black Album by Metallica, first released August 12th, 1991. So notable tracks on this album include Enter Sandman, Wherever I May Roam, Sad But True, and The Unforgiven. Before we get to the album, I just came from a 2-day Metallica concert here. They played on a Friday and then played again on Sunday. Unique set list each night, so no repeats across any of the set lists. You know, they have so many. They've been making music for over 40 years, so there's a huge amount of songs to choose from. And each of the nights had its own mix of songs. And I can't really think of one night being better than the other. Like on night one, we got a lot of great tracks. Night two, even more iconic tracks on the second night. Great openers for both nights. First night was Ice Nine Kills and Limp Bizkit. Was never super big into Limp Bizkit, but they were fun to see. And then a coworker last year told me about Ice Nine Kills, and I think I covered one of their albums on my the album series from last year. Night two was opened by Suicidal Tendencies, followed by Pantera. That was a lot of fun as well. And then after that was just basically it was just an amazing heavy metal weekend. Just huge crowds. The crowds were completely into it, completely sold out from what I understand. But yeah, just an amazing 2 nights, and that kind of inspired me to do this video here because I don't think we've done a Metallica album at least for this year's series. I think we did Master of Puppets on the original series from 2023. But yeah, this time we're doing the Black Album. One of my favorites from them, I think it's between this album and Master of Puppets. They kind of both occupy that same kind of space. I have my notes here about it. We're going to get to the track list and all that kind of stuff as well. Let me just pull that up and then I'll get ready here. Let's pop that up. And let me get my notes here. There we go. Alright, so we have the Black Album by Metallica, first released August 12th, 1991, like we said earlier. This is their 5th studio album. It follows up, I think, And Justice for All, so it was Kill 'Em All, let me make sure I got the order right, Kill 'Em All, Ride the Lightning, Master of Puppets, and Justice for All, and then the Black Album. So this is their 5th. See, there was apparently a more refined sound to this album than their previous ones. Their previous albums were more kind of done in the like thrash metal style. This one it's still a metal album, but it feels just feels a little bit less thrashy, a little more refined, and I think that is kind of how their producer wanted to go about doing the album. So you basically still have just heavy guitar tracks, heavy riffs, pretty good drumming as well. Kind of think Lars gets a lot of unnecessary kind of hate. He's fine. I think he's not like the best drummer like ever, but I think he's a lot better than people kind of make him out to be. He reminds me of kind of like to use a wrestling analogy. He reminds me of X-Pac. So X-Pac is a decent wrestler that just got a lot of unnecessary heat from the crowd. I feel Lars is kind of in that same kind of boat. But yeah, but he's fine on this. He's good. This is actually apparently the first Metallica album to actually top the Billboard charts. That was kind of surprising. Yeah, this one definitely was very commercially successful. You had like huge hits like Enter Sandman on this, Wherever I May Roam, and things like that. So I think that definitely helped the commercial appeal. The Enter Sandman music video, from what I remember, was just also iconic. Yeah, so first one to top the charts here, I think we got 5 singles off this album, including Enter Sandman, The Unforgiven, Nothing Else Matters, Wherever I May Roam, and Sad But True. Those are all just classics. Bob Rock was the producer on this, and the band apparently wanted to work with him based on, I think it was, they liked what he did with Motley Crue on Dr. Feelgood. So they brought him in. They were kind of at odds with this producer, though. I think I mentioned this on the because I covered this album on my 1990 series a while back, and they were kind of at odds at how the producer went about actually going to get the music done. Like I think he wanted them to be more collaborative, to record stuff more together than having like stuff like recording stuff separately. They brought in not additional, other members of the band beside James and Lars were actually responsible for writing some of the album. I think up to this point it was mostly Lars and James doing most of the writing, and then either like Cliff would come in on bass and do his part before he passed away. Then obviously Jason would come and would fill in from there, and then Kirk Hammett, the lead guitarist, would kind of do bits there. But I think Bob Rock, the producer, wanted them to do more stuff together, and I think overall it works really well because I think this is, like I said, Master of Puppets might be my favorite, but this one is right up there, if not a close second to that one. Absolutely love this one. So I think the producer, even though they were at odds with or he was at odds with the band, I think it ended up working in the band's favor because the final product is just an amazing, amazing album. Yeah, so James Lars did most of the writing. They were at odds. Apparently, there's a quote here from Kirk Hammett I want to bring up. Yeah, so there was some issues with the production. Like I said, they were kind of at odds with their producer, but also I think all of the three original members of the band, so not including Jason Newsted, were in the process of getting divorces while they were producing this album. So James Hetfield was getting a divorce at the time. Lars Ulrich was getting a divorce at the time, and apparently Kirk Hammett was getting a divorce at the time as well. And the quote here from Kirk Hammett is basically he said it kind of influenced how they were making the record. So his quote is, quote, trying to take those feelings of guilt and failure and channel them into music to get something positive out of it. So kind of like stuff going on in their personal lives obviously bled into the record, and I think it worked out really well. I mean, it kind of isn't great that they were, getting or like we're in the process of getting divorces, but the music that we got out of it is pretty iconic. So I think it all kind of worked out. This album's got basically, we're going to go to our reviews now. Came out to amazing reviews. Let me actually just pull those reviews up, and then we'll get to our track list here. Yeah, so here we have our review. So All Music has it at a 4.5 out of 5. Chicago Tribune has it at a 3.5 out of 4. We have a 4 out of 5 out of the Encyclopedia of Popular Music. Entertainment Weekly has it at a B. The LA Times has it at looks like a 3.5 out of 5. Music Hound Rock has it at a 5 out of 5. Pitchfork has it at a 7.7 out of 10. While Q has it at a 3 out of 5. Rolling Stone giving it a 4 out of 5, and the 4 out of 5 from Select. So overall, pretty good reviews. I think like the lowest one being Q with like a 3 out of 5. And then like a 7.7 from Pitchfork, but that's kind of like par for the course for them. They're kind of a little bit more strict on how we do our albums. Let's go into our track listing here. Let's pull this up, and album a little bit long, comes in at about an hour or a little over an hour and 2 minutes. But kind of the funny thing with Metallica is the length of the average Metallica song. So I think at these shows it was like 16 songs per night. They didn't necessarily do any encores. 16 songs is still like over 2 hours of music, and what I've noticed is that most other musical acts, the average length of their song is like the average Metallica song is probably in many cases twice as long as some of those. So we're going to get to our track list here. All right, I got the track list pulled up. So like I said, it comes in about an hour and 2 minutes, 12 tracks. Track 1 is Enter Sandman. That's what they ended up closing out night 2 with. Night 1 got closed out with Master of Puppets. But Enter Sandman, probably one of their most well-known songs. Might actually be their most well-known song, but Enter Sandman is incredible. Then we move into track 2, which is Sad But True. Just another classic, iconic track there. After that, we go into track 3, which is Holier Than Thou. Track 4, we have The Unforgiven. Kind of a tonal shift here because this one is more. Don't really want to say it's a ballad, but it's definitely not like a thrash metal or heavy metal style song. It's more slowed down, but the lyrics are like just perfect. So yeah, track 4 is The Unforgiven. Track 5 is Wherever I May Roam, another one of the most iconic tracks on the album as well. They played that at night 2 of the show as well. Yeah, I think the ones off this album that they played on night 2 were Enter Sandman, Sad But True. I think The Unforgiven and Wherever I May Roam. Don't know if anything else got played on the first night, but yeah, Wherever I May Roam is also just classic Metallica right there. Track 6 is Don't Tread on Me. Track 7 is Through the Never. Track 8 is Nothing Else Matters. That's another iconic track there. Track 9 is Of Wolf and Man. Track 10 is The God That Failed. That's how it's track 10. Track 11 is My Friend the Misery. And track 12 is The Struggle Within. And apparently there is, I haven't listened to it, but there's I think like a 15-hour box set you can get that includes this album, a bunch of live recordings, a bunch of like demos and things like that. It's pretty expensive, but it's available to listen to on like Apple Music. So I may at some point listen to bits and pieces of that. I don't think I can listen to 15 hours in one sitting, but yeah, like basically like a lot of live performances. So basically, I think it was done for the 30th anniversary of this album a few years ago. So yeah, because 91, 2001, 2011. Yeah, so I guess in 2021 is when they would have done that super deluxe box set, which looks pretty cool. But yeah, the Black Album is just a great essential album from Metallica, completely iconic, slightly different in tone to some of their previous albums because they kind of like it's a little bit more, like I said, more refined, but also incredible, just heavy metal music. Kind of some of the albums that came after this not so great. Like Load was just okay. Reload was just all right as well. And then obviously, I think they did Garage Inc. was good, even though that's not necessarily a studio album. That's kind of like a big compilation. And then obviously like Saint Anger being pretty bad. And their new one, 72 Seasons, is actually like pretty good. I would say 72 Seasons might be their next best album since this one. I would have to go back and listen to some of it, but yeah, 72 Seasons came out a few years ago, and that one is really good. So I would say probably, yeah, like 72 Seasons after this, because I think they had a few missteps with like Load and Reload and obviously Saint Anger. Some of the other stuff like Hardwire to Self-Destruct and Death Magnetic are decent as well. But yeah, 72 Seasons was actually really good. But that is going to do it for this video. We'll be back in a week from now with a whole new album. No idea what that's going to be just yet, but we'll be back in a week with that. So remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. We'll see you again next time. Thanks again for watching. Take care and have a good one.